Hãy like, đăng ký và chia sẻ nhé bạn. Trung tâm Ngoại ngữ Ngọc Vân chúc bạn một ngày vui vẻ.
Who thinks that's a good idea? Yeah, it is a good idea. Because what do you do when you listen to music? And, yeah, you sing the lyrics. So wouldn't it be fun? You could have a competition, get together with your friends, and see who's the best or who can sing the song the best. And you lose, you have to buy me milk tea. Yeah, something like that, a competition. And have it fun, right? So your teacher said, what other ways to improve your English? What other ways? We know music.
Watching cartoons.
Cartoons, yeah. What's your favorite cartoon?
A lot.
What's a lot? I've never heard of it.
I like a lot of cartoons.
Okay, yeah, I see, I got you. The one I really like, when I had foster kids, I'd still watch it today, How to Train Your Dragon. Have you ever seen that? Yeah, it's crazy. They've had movies on it, quite a few. Toothless, the dragon, right? And the boy with the leg or whatever. But yeah, and then it went into a whole cartoon series. It's amazing. And you guys are so lucky. When I was little, I had Tom and Jerry and things like that. I know you still watch, but that isn't good English, right? But something like How to Train Your Dragon, it's great. What other cartoons? Don't know? Anybody else? Come on, I know you watch cartoons with your little brothers and sisters. Oh, you guys like Doraemon, eh? I find that kind of weird, but yeah. As long as it's not what I think is good, it's what you think. Yeah, it's not what Mr. Dan thinks is good, it's what you think. Wow, did you get in a fight? Hey, you get mad?
This accident.
Oh, an accident, yeah. Yeah, it's hard with the glasses, isn't it? I have to wear glasses. Yeah. These aren't my real eyes. My lenses, they're fake. I have night vision, like a superhero. I had cataracts when I was 48, and I had to take the lenses, got cut out of my eyes, and they put new lenses in. So, music, karaoke, what else? Okay, I'll tell you a story and tell me. Playing games, yes. Just before TAP, we went to a coffee shop. I met a young girl because she helped translate for a little boy, and she invited us back. I took Mrs. Kathy, and they taught us how to play Loto, right? And we're learning Vietnamese, so we learned how to play. It's bingo. We call it bingo. But the young lady, Vietnamese, she called out the number in Vietnamese, and then the other young lady, she would say it in English, and it was training my ear, and I would repeat it in my head for the numbers, because we're trying to learn the numbers to go to the market to buy stuff, right? But yeah, really good, yeah. So, how about, I was going to tell a story. I know a young girl, she's 15 years old. And this isn't my trick, it's something her mother told her. Her mother said, read out loud. You want to improve your English, read out loud. And she said, okay, I'll try. And guess what happened? Hello, how are you? Yes, the dawn went down and the sky was blue and blah, 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 blah. What did she hear? She heard that her pronunciation was pretty good. Then what happened? What happened to the cloud of shyness? It went away. She wasn't shy anymore because she thought in her mind, you know what? I know I have to try harder in science. I will. I'm tired now. Good night. Right? And you do it every day. It's a summary of what you do, or maybe your feelings. Yeah, I didn't feel good today. I woke up and it was raining. Or it was really windy and I got a cold and I feel bad. Or maybe you had a fight with your mom or your little brother or something like that. But you know what she does? Every day she writes in her diary in Vietnamese, English. Yeah. guess what? In 2 years, when she goes for her IELTS test, she's gonna kill it. She's gonna rock. Because every day she's practicing, and that's all you're doing when you're writing, is you're getting your thoughts from in your head or your mind, right? And putting it on paper. And it's hard. I know, because when I was 42, 43, I changed my job role in policing, and I went to a specialized unit where I wrote judicial affidavits, and I read hundreds of reports, and I had to summarize the important ones into my words. And it was for a gigantic judge at the top, very powerful judges, to decide. And then lawyers ripped it apart, my grammar, my sentence structure. But eventually, as I did more and more, I got comfortable, because all of a sudden my shyness was gone, and I knew I wrote good papers. And then I wrote, and I wrote, and I wrote, and I wrote. And and I got good compliments. Your pronunciation is good. Keep it up, you're doing fantastic. Every time you practice and somebody gives you a compliment or you feel better, you get stronger, because that shyness goes away. Hey, I speak pretty good. And I know this class is a good class, because I've been here before and you guys talk lots. Just right now, I'm talking because your teacher asked me how we can do. So these are hints from other students. Hello, so we're reading out loud. Has anybody ever heard a podcast? Podcast, yeah. My daughter, she's 32, and she listens to podcasts all the time. She drives over a half hour to get to work, and instead of the radio, she puts on podcasts. They're audios. And what a great way. What's your interest? What do you like? Traveling, yeah. I guarantee you there's tons of podcasts on traveling. What's your interest? What do you like? What interests you? You like fashion? You like science? Listening. What to what, though? It's hard, right? You're translating. What do you like to listen to? Have somebody in the world doing a podcast on BTS. And this is Kathy. I was teaching a young Vietnamese girl who's 16 now for over a year. And we would do Blackpink and BTS songs. And we would go slow because her pronunciation wasn't that great. But then as it got better, cranked up that speed, because you know BTS and Blackpink. We go faster. And it was a competition. But then when Miss Kathy got her, oh, that's boring. She switched it. She went to news articles about BTS and Blackpink. And reading out loud, right? It's a great way. But podcasts, same thing. You can also, another person that was doing IELTS just the other day told me, when they're riding their motorbike, they talk to themselves. Is that crazy? No, it's not. You talk to yourself all the time, don't you? You just don't talk out loud. Yeah, geez. I wonder how I'm going to do in that science test. I think I did pretty good. I don't know. You know, your mind, you're constantly, I wonder if he's at home. I'm done my homework. I'm going to give him a text on Zazzle, because maybe I want to hang out and we'll have a visit, right? You don't say it out loud. You say it in your mind. Start thinking in English. Say it in your mind in English. But this person, they're studying for IELTS, so on the way to work and on the way home, as they're riding their bike and nobody's listening to them, they speak out loud. And it's great. Because when I was in Thailand, and I was getting ready. I had to go from kindergarten classes all the way up to college, and I got top marks. Why? Because I sat in my room. Yeah, I'm a crazy old guy, and I said it out loud. I said my whole presentation. Good day, class. Today we're going to do this, and because I had to learn to use a whiteboard. I had to learn, even though I had done teaching with advanced police techniques, I didn't do little kids. So I acted everything out, and I said it out loud. Guess what? I got top marks because I was confident going into the class. Bless you. Are these ideas silly, or do they make sense?
Watching English comedies.
Pardon me?
Watching English comedies.
Watching English committee. What's that?
You watch the funny clip in English, and you will feel relaxed, and you will be improving your English words and feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you guys have this power in here, and I think I English. You have a friend in this class?
Yes.
Who? When you hang out with him, or talk on Zao or on audio, do you speak in Vietnamese or English? You have a friend in this class? No? He's saying, yeah. He's not your friend? No? Oh. Do you have a friend? Not really? Yeah, some of you study really hard. Who do you talk to in this class? Yeah? You speak in Vietnamese or English? Both? Wow! Way to go! That's the secret, guys. That's the one big thing. And for 3 years I tried the hardest on is this. Because you can only speak to yourself so often on your bicycle or your motorbike, because eventually somebody's going to hear you and think, oh, you're crazy. But you're not. If you speak and you say 15 minutes a day, hey, I want to improve my English, because what grade are you in now? What grade are you in? What class? Yeah, but what grade now? Are you in grade 10? Grade 8?
Yes, grade 8.
Grade 8. Okay, so do you one day want to go to university? Remember that if you're going to go to university, even in Vietnam, you've got to take an English class in the first year. So maybe you'll want to do the IELTS test because you're here. Because I know a girl in high school, she did it, she scored 7.5. Guess what? She doesn't need to do the exam. And she's actually going to go to school in Canada. Yeah. But if you learn to practice with a speaking partner, you're going to go from here to here. Do you believe me? Yeah.
Yes.
Because we've hosted many people from around the world, mainly Europe, in our home, and they come in and their English is down here. Okay, and whoa, I can't understand them. A little bit of English in school, but they listen to music and they watch TV shows and American films, English films, and 3 days later, when they're talking with us, yes, that's really good, Dan, I'd like to do. Wow! Because they practice. They've had 3 days of practicing. They're not speaking their mother tongue all the time. They're practicing English. So, do you girls think you could do that? Do you think that you could say, hey, Mr. Down, maybe he's got something. I want to do a good score in my speaking test, right? You all have speaking tests, right?
Yes.
So, let's practice. Because I like to get a 9 or a 9.5. Because getting that 9 or 9.5, that feels really good, isn't it? online, Marvel Comics, viewcomics.me, thousands of free comics. You like zombies? Read zombie. You want romance? Read romance. Action guys, Spider-Man, Batman, all those movies that you've seen, they come from comics. And this site, it's free. It's all at your fingertips. You guys, you're so lucky. Because I got a friend, I do have one friend. His name is, where is he? Yeah. His name is Daniel. He's in China. He's my age, 59. These are my friends from China that can speak English. And Daniel, he learned English by himself, just by singing English songs. He bought CDs. And I know because when he came to Canada on a visit, the whole time when we were driving, he's singing John Denver songs. Yeah. Sunshine and the mountains make me happy. Yeah, but he had fun. And a great way to learn English. And you have fun when you do it. That's the big thing, is to do things that you know you can practice and have fun. Other ways. Who goes home at lunch? Who goes home at lunch? From school. You all have lunch at school, or do you go home?
Go home.
Yeah. And is your parents home for lunch?
Yes.
Yeah? Does your dad always listen to the news? Sometimes, maybe no. Listening to news in English is another good way, right? If to keep up on current affairs, and then to research it. There's actually a website, and it's all different levels of English, and it's news. It's about news. And reading world events, things that are happening in China, or things that are happening in Thailand, Vietnam, to educate yourself. How else? How do you improve your English?
Like, listen to music. Like,
Music?
I sometimes listen to the rapper.
Rappers? Yeah, rap is different. I think I'm not into rap, but I do know that Eminem, even though I don't care for him, my son used to listen to him when he was your age. His pronunciation is perfect. His words, if you look at the lyrics, are perfect. And yes, rap has slang in it, but his isn't bad. And you get the different meanings, right, in rap. And then what you do, because if you don't understand, because sometimes it's not in textbook English, you go to this website, urbandictionary.com. It is the dictionary of all slang, English slang.